good, Commanders fans? So today I just want to talk about the Steelers having interest in trading for Chase Young, and then also training camp, man. Training camp. They released the open practice dates, but they didn't put up the joint practice dates yet. And I think that's because, of course, you probably have to get the tickets through the Ravens website. They may have some tickets up from the Commanders website for the joint practice. I definitely will try my best to go to that for sure, since I literally live in the area. So I'm definitely going to try to check that out. It should be a lot of fun. But before I get into the Chase Young talk, of course, it's the NBA Finals. This probably is the last game of the NBA Finals. So I do want you guys to get your props in, get your wagers in, of course, on Prize Picks using this promo that Prize Picks is giving out right now. You use my promo code RealEdOliver. 100% deposit match up to $100 for first-time users. You use my promo code. Use the link down below in the description box so you can get the promo that's going on with Prize Picks. So my picks for tonight, I'll make this quick for you guys. I got Jimmy Butler getting over 12.5 rebounds and assists, and Aaron Gordon getting over 24 points, rebounds, and assists. I got the Nuggets winning again. I think they're going to blow them out, blow the Heat out, and Aaron Gordon, he's just been dominating the past couple games. So those are my picks for tonight. You use my promo code RealEdOliver for 100% deposit match using the link down below in the description. All right, so let's quickly get to the so this is a source from this guy's named Jeff Hartman. He does Behind the Steel Curtain, or what's the website that he works for? Some article that he wrote up. But yeah, so it's Jeff Hartman. He works for this BehindTheSteelCurtain.com. That's where he works for. So apparently he has a source within the Steelers building. And this basically sounds true too. Now there's a bunch of teams that are probably interested in Chase Young. They're not the only team. So if Chase Young really is legitimately made available, then a lot of teams definitely would pick up the phone and certainly call the Commanders, I feel like. Now, at the same time, we know the Commanders are not trading Chase Young. So this really could the only reason why I'm talking about it is because of all the things that happened in the past, them not picking up his fifth-year option, the report about them being open or listening to trade offers, even though I don't think they're going to trade him, because it's just not in Ron Rivera's best interest to trade him at this point. Now, if they're going to trade him, I think they were going to do it. The best time to do it really was before the draft. But either way, it wouldn't help Ron out at all at this point. Like, this is a make or break season for Ron Rivera. He needs Chase Young to show up. You're only going to get the best. Like, you're trading for a pick. If you traded for a draft pick, you're trading for a draft pick where you most likely won't be here, potentially won't even be here next year. So you need all the chips or all the ammunition from this defensive line. You need every guy to hit the potential. Of course, Duran hit his potential last year. John Allen hit his potential 2 years ago. And you need Montez Sweat still really to untap his full potential. You need Chase Young to definitely untap his full potential. So if you really want to make a playoff run and keep your job for next year, you need Chase Young to definitely get back to that rookie season form, and better than that, honestly, for Ron to really keep his job. So basically, and we already heard what Mike Tomlin said when we beat the Steelers on Monday Evening Football. When the Steelers were undefeated, they were 11-0. We went in there, we upset them. Alex Smith had a good game. Chase Young had a good game. The whole defense had a good game. Mike Tomlin was like, I really want to draft you. I really wanted you on this team or whatever. I'm paraphrasing, but he was like, I never want to be that bad to the point where I can draft Chase Young. So Mike Tomlin clearly wants Chase Young there, and I don't blame him. Chase Young's still a good player. I know this fan base, they think he's the B word and all that, a bust. But I don't think that with Chase Young. I still think he definitely has a lot of potential and still a very, very talented player in this league. So the article goes on to say the Commanders are reportedly open to listening to trade calls. We already talked about that earlier last week. He also says that earlier this year, he said if the Commanders really are interested in trading Young, the Seahawks would. Oh no, this is the wrong article. All right, so this one, it says, this is from the guy Hartman. He says, sources inside the Steelers organization made it known the team has a strong interest in acquiring Washington Commanders and former first-round draft pick Chase Young. Young, who had his fifth-year option declined by Washington, is in the final year of his rookie contract. If a deal would be made, the Steelers would have to make a trade with Washington to obtain Young services. As the source stated, they'd have to get very creative to get Chase Young and maneuver the cap hit so the teams can still have enough room to head into the season. And that's the thing, too. Like, if he goes to the Steelers, he would probably be another Washington Commander or Washington player that goes to a different team and then just has a better career. Especially playing across from T.J. Watt. That would be a nasty duo. They already have Highsmith on their team, who had, 14.5 sacks last year. Alex Highsmith, 6'4", 242 pounds. So he's a guy that is a sack monster, just like T.J. Watt is. So adding him to that defense would be nasty. Now, I saw a mock trade. It was on FanSide. They said a second-round pick and a fourth-round pick, both in the 2024 season. That's not a terrible trade. I would rather get a first for Chase, but at this point, I just don't think you're going to get a first because of the injury history and because of the underwhelming year that he had in 2021, even before the injury. So I think that probably would be the best that you can get at this point. Probably a second and a fourth, or maybe a second and a third, or something like that. I don't know if you can get a first. Maybe you could get a first. Maybe you could get a first for Chase Young. But that's the news on that. I personally don't think it's going to happen. It's the off season, so I just had to talk about it, speak on it, because you just never know. And if Chase Young's not playing well by the trade deadline, then maybe you talk to the Steelers and see what they're willing to give up. If they're willing to give you a second at the trade deadline, and Chase Young only has like 1.5 sacks, that's worst case scenario. Then you definitely called Mike Tomlin. I think Mike Tomlin would still take Chase Young for sure. All right, so let's move on to training camp. So they came out with 12 open practices, 12 practices that are going to be open to the fans. And here's a report from Ben Stanley. Said this is from the article that they came with the Washington Commanders. There's a 2,000 seat bleacher area along the sideline is available for viewing practice on a first come first served basis. Fans may bring blankets and lawn chairs if interested in sitting on open grass. So that should be lit. That should be fun, man. Definitely sitting there on the bleachers, cheering the team on, watching practice, kind of from that middle of the field view. If it's kind of like that, kind of like the dream seats at a game at the 50-yard line in the middle, just watching practice. That should be pretty darn lit. A 2,000 seats. So that's pretty cool, man. I don't really care about Hard Knocks, but if they are there, they definitely would show that for sure. The bleachers and people cheering and watching practice for sure. So that would be pretty fun for sure. So the open practice days, July 27th is the first day of practice. And, of course, OTAs. That one day of practice got canceled. Now they're just going to do a light workout instead. So they will not be doing 7-on-7 or on 11-on-11. And I think that practice is voluntary. It's not a mandatory practice. Now, remember, the Commanders, they lost a week of practice because of just too much hitting and physicality. I can't remember whether it was Derek Forrest or Jeremy Reeves who hit somebody last year. And they took away a week of practice, and they fined Ron Rivera $100,000 a little bit after he fined Jack Del Rio for $100,000 for the dust up comments from Jack Del Rio. Now back to the practice dates: July 27th, July 28th, the 29th, August 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 8th of August, the 8th of August, the 9th of August, the 13th, 14th, 18th, and the 19th of August, all at 9 a.m. So they will be practicing at 9 a.m. Remember, Eric Bieniemy, he wants them to watch film before they practice, so that will be definitely an interesting thing that the Commanders are doing. So you guys let me know what days you guys are going. That's my kids in the background. They're home today. Of course, they're having it up. August 9th is Kids Day. Kids Day, pun intended there. So you guys let me know what you guys think. When they do come out with the dates for the joint practices, I certainly will go. Or if they have the tickets, of course the tickets are free $99 as they always are. I went to training camp a couple years ago and I had a great time. So I'm definitely going to try to go. All the practices will be at Ashburn, Virginia. The gates will open at 8 a.m. and parking lots will open at 7:30 a.m. So that certainly should be a lot of fun. So I just wanted to discuss that with you guys and just chop it up with you guys in the comments. They won't be doing anything until July 27th. So this is the dry period of the off season. I'm going to definitely come up with at least 1 or 2 videos each week for you guys. You guys comment below what kind of videos you want to see for the rest of the all season before we get to preseason, before we get to training camp July 27th. Definitely camp battles, stuff like that. Definitely will be making videos like that. All right, you guys. Hail the Commanders. You guys let me know what you guys think. Peace.